so
stuff.
much. You know, champs at being at the end of the year, you know, everything kind of going into that one big event. And, you know, barring this could actually be my first COD champs.
That hurts my feelings.
No, it doesn't work like that.
That hurts me.
It doesn't work like that at all.
Because he is the worst. If you guys can hear me out there, and I'm speaking to our league operations team, I am not able to join the lobby. So if I could receive an invite, that would be magnificent.
Oh, do you want me to invite you?
Thank you, buddy.
All you got to do is ask.
I can get in now. I should be good to go.
I just sent you one.
All right. Thank you. I am in, and we should be ready to start this one in just a couple of seconds here. So
yeah, we're not going to go through the ban and protects again. Those are all done. The players have made their classes. We're just going to do the specialist draft so these guys can get their specialists on the way once again.
Very, very true. But let's, well, yeah, like you said, the ban protector. It looks like there's going to be picking them again here. Yeah. Should just rip right through them.
Yeah, might as well just go through it. I mean, the CWO rule set, all you get is a click of a button, everything's set up. Easy peasy. So these guys, they have no shot at messing up the rules by tweaking anything, obviously. But so far, everything's the same. I assume we're just going to keep them the same as well.
Yep, very true. Just ripping through them here.
Yeah, exactly.
We can hop into the specialist draft. Just a couple more to select here, and we'll be getting right into game.
There we go. And these guys are just going to reselect their specialists, and we'll be able to get things started. So, accuracy, of course, he's the player with the scythe, kind of replacing Bielfire. What do you think of that? Like, let's say you were CLG, right? You decide, would you rather have, a player like Bielfire, or would you rather have a player like Accuracy on your team?
Honestly, I love both players.
Or would you rather have them both?
I think, that's a good question as well. I mean, really, it comes down to methods, making the decisions, with the CLG organization, who they feel is the better fit, and they feel Accuracy was the better fit. And I think...
But Bielfire's been playing so damn well recently.
He has, but if we're talking over the past couple of titles, well, okay, past title. If we're talking Advanced Warfare, I thought Accuracy was a stronger player in that. And, what we saw from Accuracy at the qualifier, I thought Accuracy played really, really well. So it's hard because I know Bielfire has been playing great, but
they do kind of play a very similar role.
Accuracy, I think, is a better player.
Okay.
I do. I mean, one's a little bit younger. One's kind of the seasoned veteran that's been around. You've teamed with Bielfire
he's a great
points
guy.
in your career. No, I love him. I think he's an amazing guy, amazing player, and it's sad to see him go, but I'm sure he's going to be finding his spot onto a roster because I think he's proven he's more than capable of hanging.
I think Bielfire is one of those players where if he's available, teams are might start making moves to get him on their team. He's very talented. You're looking for that stable AR kind of positional assault rifle player that can consistently drop kills. Bielfire is a great choice to go after.
Could not agree with you more. Just waiting on the guys to get their classes set up here, and we'll be ready to hop into game 3. And this is sort of your swing game, whether you're talking about the, NBA, MLB, like any kind of series, you have best of 5, best of 7. That middle game in the series is really the one that I feel like kind of gives you the momentum swing, gives you control of the series, especially with it tied right now 1-1. If they're able to take this, whichever team takes this, I think is going to take the series. I do.
Really?
Whoever gets the 2-1 advantage is going to take it.
Okay.
I feel slightly confident in that.
Well, at least you're not like Jack. Jack, his predictions are like, I'm 10,000% sure this is going to happen. Especially when we're in the ban and protects, he's like, I'm 10,000% sure Camo's going to get banned.
Then
they banned the frag grenade or something.
Jack he's one of the most absurd people I've ever met in my entire life. But I do love him like a son. I do. Could be young enough to be my son, but now Jack is absurd. But now we are going to be loading and getting ready now for evac uplink. Let us know on Twitter who you're rooting for in this one. Is it going to be CLG, Complexity? Who's going to take it? Now, how I was talking about the stronger side on this team. Let me know here for you. Red, blue, when you're attacking, what is the preferred side, Revan?
Red, for sure. But like I was saying earlier, both sides have that opportunity to get it going.
See, it's
get
funny
that spawns locked down.
I like attacking blue. Because I feel if you can get control of AC at blue, you can really get the rally going, whereas one-pointers are much easier towards red.
I like attacking from the red side.
Oh, okay. I thought I said it's attacking which side. Okay, so you just misunderstood me. That's what I was curious. I was like, really? That side?
I like attacking from the red side.
Yeah. So the side that we see Complexity on, they are going to be on the strong side right now, pushing towards... You saw basically that blue.
All right. All 4 go down for Complexity. The best start CLG could have wished for us now. They're pushing forward through the middle of the map. This is going to be definitely a one-point opportunity. Perplex. He's actually okay.
That was wise.
Cutting a little close. I like that he decided to play it safe still very early on in the game. You want to establish your leader very early. As now Methods, if he could just stay alive here and be a nuisance for the guys in Complexity, that's really going to be...
You are on the side of CLG.
He needs to rotate back now.
Yes, because he's spawning. He was actually, a couple of the spawns that came in, spawn them by drone almost. You can be in positions that can almost hurt you, even though you're in an aggressive position like he was in. He's trying to rotate back, trying to help his team. It doesn't look like it's going to hurt him for now, as they do have drone. They are pushing middle. But as you saw him get that one-point toss, on this side, rather than for me, it is so important that every single opportunity you get for a one-pointer, you take advantage of. You can't afford to miss shots here.
Too ambitious on this wall run. I think if you just run it bottom kitchen, you set up for the toss over the wall run. I think that's a bit more of a consistent way to get 1 point on the board. But I think why players like using the wall run is kind of like a safety net. So even if they do get spotted and they get taken out, their drone gets reset. Take advantage of it.
Well, this is what you want to see. Complexity is just forward, but they haven't really been able to win any kills in an aggressive fashion. All the kills have been in their base or around drone.
This is a good
Miracles, though, yep, he gets a big two-piece, and this is going to allow them to start to get forward. No one has grabbed the drone at this point. They're going to kill one that was trying to sneak through the cracks. This final player on the minimap should be grabbing the drone. That's going to be Parasite, but as he sees his teammates drop around him, everyone that pushed forward ends up dropping. They didn't even get the drone or get off a one-point toss.
These are huge kills from Parasite, though, as his teammates are now going to rally up off respawn and join him, but that's a questionable push from Perplex, and CLG's kind of pretty lucky that it didn't come back to bite them, because as he decides to flank around through middle map, his teammates all died at the base, and Complexity, they weren't able to get CLG off the respawn, but that is a risky play for Perplex to make.
This isn't capture the flag, you know, sneaking through and potentially getting behind enemy lines isn't going to pay off as much. It's just
I thought he was just going to hang around the neutral drone and delay that push forward.
All right, well, now it's 1-1. We've got 2 minutes left in the first side. This is looking very good if you're CLG. You've got to feel great about how these first 3 minutes of uplink have gone, because you've kept it tied. You're on the less preferred side here to kick things off. Methods now coming back to drone, trying to win one. You've got 3 down for CLG, and now this is another opportunity to get set up. This position Felony is in now. He needs to stay alive. Yeah, this is the position that Complexity is trying to get into and hold. They just have not been able to do it, and that's why they haven't been able to really get any kind of rally going forward. It looks like you had a deep one-point toss that ends up going over the top.
All right, and immediately you're going to see CLG decide to wrap this drone around once again, going along the wall run. Because if he dies, the drone falls off the map. But as too far for Complexity, he's going to choose a different route. And this is the area I was talking about. Just peek out, you get an easy one-point toss, but there's going to be one player here, Parasite, trying to stop this. Not going to be able to make it happen as CLG with that dunk. They go up by those 2 points. Players still dropping for Complexity as the Annihilator is now going to get brought out from Methods. Huge kills for him to make, but he misses that first shot, and it looks like he's going to come back to bite him here.
Well, let's see if he can stay alive. He's doing a good job not repeaking. Now he's finally going to hit one. Finds a second, but it doesn't connect. The heat wave too much, but he is still somehow here. He's able to pick up one, not able to get the toss through, but now the final play, Perplex, do something with it! Don't just hold it in your hands!
I thought I was waiting for the heat wave to come off, but hey, they probably thought they were safe. Methods so close to getting that 2-point toss in. Perplex was there to follow it up, but
another dunk there. Another dunk would have been big. Huge, I mean, a four-point advantage going into the stronger side would have been great. Good job getting that off the map there, as it would have been a risky business through the final 30 seconds. But now Methods
take it cut mid.
Trying to get control of drone spawn. He's got the drone. He gets out. He's got Felony in the base trying to wreak havoc. He just looks like he's waiting for his teammates. They've grouped up. It's just there's only really him and one other player.
Yeah, just play time now, especially since all your teammates fall.
He needed his teammates to pick up some kills there.
Yeah, you had Felony way pushed up middle map. If you had just held that position over near the big door, they could have wrapped it kitchen and got a 1-point toss in. But you know, CLG, like we've been saying, they are more than happy going into the second side with a lead. They would have been happy tied. Yeah. But a lead, really, best-case scenario here for CLG. They're in a great position to take this uplink.
They really are, and this series not going at all how we've predicted it with regards to each game. CLG doing an excellent job thus far in the respawns. Seeing the final couple kills there coming in for accuracy before we hop into our second side. And now you a good break from CLG, or a good break from Complexity in tying up this early
Kinetic,
would be huge.
Scythe, HC, no Heat Wave though. So CLG, they're going to have a good amount of firepower. What do the guys on Complexity have to work with?
I'll go through. You've got Scythe for Nameless, Annihilator for Parasite, and Kinetic and Heatwave not up yet for the other two.
So they have both their weapons, no abilities?
Correct. But you do have Overdrive on Miracles, so he probably be working towards his Kinetic really quickly. Overclock, yes.
Yeah, Jack's made that mistake many times.
You have Overdrive, Overclock, Overkill. I mix them all together. But yeah, he will have Overclock, so he's going to be working towards his pretty darn quickly. Now, I'm watching the HC coming up for Methods here. You see Felony get 2, 3 down for Complexity, but that last player, that is a big kill from Miracles because that delays the push at least a couple of seconds there. But
you might have to bring out a weapon here.
Yeah, because now they're flying forward. It's 3 players.
Get shut down immediately? They missed a 1 point. No, that way, no, okay. This is looking like it's maybe a little off target, but CLG, they get that 1 point on the board, and now they can continue slaying over near the Complexity base. As Flurry going down, now you can start thinking about getting some dunks in. Well,
Accuracy has the drone in hand. We'll see if he's able to get a toss. Looks like it goes over the top, they're able to sink it through. So 2-0 advantage here in the second side. They're doing a much better job than Complexity did. They're coming forward. His teammate drop should be another 1-pointer. The Scythe comes out, but does not matter as they've hit 3 in a row here in the opening 90 seconds of half 2.
And Nameless, he might decide, I thought if he would have picked up the drone, he would have kept his progression maybe like halfway towards the Scythe. But because he decided to switch his weapon, he loses all progression to the Scythe. As an interesting 1-point toss coming in, and Complexity, they missed that shot, so missed scoring opportunity coming out Complexity. Now CLG, they're going to wrap this one forward. You already got a player pushing out the lane. That's going to go ahead and be perplexed as Felny decides to take an alternate route right through the middle, and this is going to be a good 1-point opportunity for Complexity or from CLG, and they've hit just about all of their 1-point tosses.
I actually don't think they've missed one yet. To my knowledge, they've put them all through, and that's
How crazy is it that they're winning with Accuracy going 12 and 18?
That is nuts because he's a guy that you need to pick up big kills, and now here comes, this is the push you want. You get control there of AC, and this is just the rally. You can see them spawning out at the top of the minimap there, and they've got really good control now. The only problem was they had to rotate back for drone, but they're able to pick up a couple more kills. They've got control of the base for the time being. There's only one more player there, and there's another dunk. And this is textbook. This is exactly what we were talking about before the game started. This is how you want to get control of this side.
Big kill from Felony as he clears out Parasite from his base, and now you see Complexity start to overextend. And this is where things can get really out of hand. I mean, sure, you already have a 10-point lead for CLG, but it could exponentially grow because you have nobody from Complexity with position at their base. Methods, if he's able to find these kills, would be absolutely massive. And now 2 fall for Complexity. Their push is stopped dead in the water. They toss the drone forward for yards, but CLG, they're going to be able to retake control, and they can just play for time here. Just, run back and forth suicide if you wish with the drone on the side of the map.
I don't really have any thoughts or opinions on what Complexity can do to bring this back. I mean, they're trailing by 10. On the weaker side.
Stuff your Annihilator, maybe that could be used?
You have to get them pinned for the rest of this time. They have to win the kills here at drone and then basically get the spawn trap on and just rally, because they just don't have enough time on their side right now.
I mean, you need CLG to just unplug their controllers, turn them off, and stop playing for Complexity to come back into this one. But they need to use their specialist abilities in, like, the perfect manner, and that needs to lead into a scoring chain for Complexity. I mean, they're starting to run out of time. A minute, 20 seconds remaining, and you can't really settle for 1-point tosses right now.
Exactly. So I was going to say, 1-point tosses don't do it. You have to get dunks. There's one player in the back. He has to go for one.
That was almost a little too low.
It just doesn't do anything for you right now. You're not going to
hit 3 dead.
Not going to hit 9 1-pointers.
Yeah, Accuracy is going to be able to respond immediately with 1-point toss. Doesn't get intercepted for Complexity, so they wasted all that time just to get 1 point up, and within 10 seconds after that, CLG respond with 1 point of their own, so they're still maintaining that 10-point lead.
Well, now this is, as good as this looks for CLG, you're into that scary position where this series now looks like it's going to go Game 5, and you have a team in Complexity that has been incredibly clutch and consistent in Game 5s, in kind of the opposite from the side of CLG. So question mark.
I think CLG need to close it out in this upcoming CTF.
I could not agree more.
Which is going to be on Breach.
Yeah, they really, really do. Or do we see Accuracy help this team? Does he maybe make an impact, help them a little bit in the Game 5s? Because obviously the squads they've had not really working out in that particular scenario.
Maybe. This could be the difference. Maybe under BL Fire, they thought, okay, we need some help just closing out games in general. That has been something that's been hurting CLG. The majority of this league is closing out those final games. Maybe that's what Accuracy brings to the table. coming up clutch in those game 5s, or, even closing it out on this upcoming CTF. And, looking at the scoreboard, man, Nameless, he drops 30 kills. Not enough for his team to even get 3 points on the board. A crushing defeat for Complexity at CLG. Easy stuff for them in this uplink as they go up 2-1.
Yeah, I'm not exactly surprised with how the second side went. I'm more surprised with the first side, that Complexity just never for 1 second got control of the CLG base, actually forced the spawn out and got a rally going. Not once at all.
They never really even had a lead either.
No. It was CLG from the get-go. I mean, they scored, they got, 3 down, I think, off the break.
They got that 1-point toss.
They got the 1-point toss, and from there, they never relinquished control. And usually you'll see teams play sometimes maybe a little bit safer on that side, but they had no issue going at Complexity. It really paid off, and you saw them just hammer it home there in the second half.
One thing working in CLG's favor on that first side is they never gave up control of their AC.
Not once.
Never once did you see any Complexity player being able to put pressure onto the CLG spawns from that position, and that's something CLG did nearly perfectly on that other side. They got control of AC very early on. They got some easy 1-point tosses, and just being able to be that far pushed forward up in the lane, you saw how many 1-point tosses they were able to get in after that.
Well, that, and they got, I think, a string of maybe two dunks they got as well, which really, really starts to add to it. But let's take a look here at the scoreboard as we wrap up Game 3 here between Complexity and CLG. Let's talk about the side of CLG as they had the big win. Who went big for you? Who stands out? I mean, the 1-point tosses, look how many throws they had.
Yeah.
8.
Perplex hitting the majority of those. That's exactly what you want from him in those respawn game modes. It's something where he's been pretty vocal about. He needs to step it up when it comes to the hard points, the uplinks, and the CTF, and this is a great way to pitch in, hitting all. Annihilator doesn't make the biggest impact, but it's annoying enough to keep CLG at, pinned back in their base. Forces a heat wave as well. Stays alive after this as he picks up the Cone Ricky, and this is where we're like, somebody dunk it. I thought Perplex was going to use heat wave right here just to secure it, but just unable to get high enough to put it in.
That or the 1-pointer, but ultimately, I mean, it didn't matter. I mean, right after that is when they really started to punish here. When they switched to the other side, they went incredibly big, and like you said, controlled AC, got several dunks through. I think they had total of 3 dunks, was it? And I think
2 or 3.
I think all 3 of them came through in a minute to 90-second span.
Really, well, they had one on the first side.
Okay, so the 2, then it was 2 on the other side that came through
back to back,
where they.
And it wasn't really like many flashy plays, right? No. It was just textbook stuff, as you're saying. Very straightforward from CLG as we're moving into the ban and protects for upcoming breach capture of flag. I think we fully expect to see something like Overdrive go, maybe a camo, as well as rapid fire, high caliber. MR6 goes as well. Anything crazy you see either of these teams doing here?
I mean, sometimes we'll see. Blast suppressor bans from Complexity from time to time. We've even seen Dead Silence be banned in CTF just so you don't get those sneak pulls. It's a little rare, but I've seen Complexity do some interesting stuff. I think it's going to be pretty standard, though.
Okay.
I think Complexity feels they can beat. Complexity should worry about playing their game. I don't think they need to worry about disrupting CLG. Just play your game. You've been doing it all year. You choke some, you get to game 5, you close it out when it matters, and that's kind of what they're looking at right now.
I feel like the one thing working against Complexity is they keep banning out the concussion here. Normally we see Complexity are the ones to protect it and keep some of the tacticals in the game just so they could slow their opponents down and slow the pace of the game a little bit. I think they're allowing CLG to have too much freedom in the way that they want to play the game. Perplex is running out of time for this last ban, by the way.
Well, that's kind of what I hate. I hate when you're watching, let's say we're talking about a team like, I don't know, DT, TK, CLG, someone that's been struggling a bit.
They don't do anything like
they need to.
Out of the ordinary.
Why wouldn't you protect concussions? Try to slow it down. Protect things like that.
I was even thinking ban out perk 1 greed.
Sure.
Ban out perk 3 greed.
Stop playing into the better team's game. I mean, that's what we see teams do so often. You got to mix things up. I know there's a lot of confidence in some of these players, and they think they can hang with anyone. But the fact is, you can't at times, and you need to mix things up. You need to try and put a little variety in the gameplay.
Anytime you go like gun on gun against the Optic Gaming, Team Envious, Rise, FaZe, it's not going to work out, man.
Yeah, and it sure feels good when you get that occasional win playing that style, but the keyword's occasional. It doesn't happen very
You're looking
frequently.
For consistency.
Yeah, you need to figure out ways to, I guess, kind of change the game, make it yours, put your impact on it, and that's the thing I guess we haven't seen many teams do outside of teams like H2K Elevate at times will really kind of make those top teams sort of play their game.
Nagafin's a player I talked with a lot at UMGSC, especially about the ban and protects. And, he's players like, well, I could use one ban on something like TACMAS and force out 2 for my opponent. Because after that, they want to take out the concussions. They want to take out flashbangs. So just by playing some mind games with that, you could take away some easy bans for your opponents. I mean, let's look at this case scenario, right? Just hypothetically, you ban out TACMAS, you force your opponents to ban concussion, flashbang, then you don't ban rapid fire, high caliber either. You get comfortable with using those attachments. Those are 4 bans, and you leave your opponents with no impact on the game whatsoever. They can't do anything out of the ordinary because you're pretty comfortable with that, playing without those things already.
And I would even I'm curious, when we get closer to stage 1 and you have the $250,000 on the line, 3
things
weeks
are gonna
from
get
now.
Crazy.
Do you have, I would almost have like a set strategy like per map, because you can't be too predictable with this stuff, because if they know you're going to try and target like a couple things, it's now that you have that neutral position, you can get to the ban, you can get to the protect in the equal amount of time. But are they going to have just kind of certain maps, certain I guess string of things they try to do between games to attack stuff, and that's, I'm kind of curious.
I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. I fully expect to see more perk greed bans get banned out going into land.
We've seen it a little bit more over the past month or so. We've seen them attacked a little bit here in Europe as well. But I can't wait, man. We're getting closer and closer to April 1st through 3rd, which will be the relegation land final, which will be the bottom 4 pro teams playing against the top 4 challenge teams that come out of the online groups. And then we'll also have the top 8 competing for, again, $250,000. But we are getting ready to hop into Breach CTF. Breach might be my second favorite map in the game. I think it's my favorite CTF
behind
map.
Fringe.
And Fringe number 1. I think Breach number 2. This one can be so entertaining. Now,
how much does Fringe remind you of like a standoff?
A lot, I guess, especially in the callouts kind of too, and the layout of it. I mean, Fringe, I think is kind of, for anyone that played Black Ops 2, it's kind of your favorite map. Just reminds you so much of it in many, many ways. Now, taking a look at this one, when you're talking about red and blue, where do you prefer to attack from?
I think on CTF, it's pretty even on both sides, just kind of the nature of CTF. The way the spawns work, because the flag is so far back at base, when you respawn, aside from, when you get that weird spawn as the other team pushes from red to green, you could force them to spawn closer in Palace. I think that's really the worst spawn you could get, is it looks like we might get a quick restart of this game. But anyways, as we were talking about Breach, I think for the most part this is a very straightforward 3-lane map. You can't really get too sneaky with the wall runs where you can on a map like Evac.
Yeah, there's like some in the middle, but not as much as Evac, for sure. I think that's because they're kind of, the sneaky wall runs are in the kind of the middle of the map, whereas in Evac you can get outside, which makes it a little more dangerous.
I think if I were forced to pick, I would prefer attacking from green to red. I feel like on green, it's a bit easier to defend your flag. It's a bit more of a wide open area. You could always back up to kind of where like the glass things are in the back of your flag and use the banister to your advantage. It's pretty tough to run from broken to the flag and get away safely. You always have to worry about like that back AC, then worry about the side railings, whereas on the other side, it's pretty straightforward. Not much cover for the defenders to utilize. You could pick up the flag, you could run it into lab, and then it's like, well, where'd you go? You got 4 seconds to really determine, otherwise you could give a flag.
Yeah, and a lot of times the thing I focus the most on is when you get that pool, where those spawns come in. And it's so much dependent on timing, because
where you push from.
The respawn timers will change throughout these various game modes. They get longer and longer, really, as we get through our best of 5 for the most part. And on this one, it's such a timing thing, depending on if you get the flag out and they spawn behind you in their base, or they're spawning Palace on you and they're going to be pushing and very easily can overextend. So we'll be watching that one a little bit. Now let's make sure we still have everyone in the lobby, as we're going to just be having a restart here momentarily. Guys, thanks for being patient, as we should be able to get started up. For those just tuning in right now, 2-1 advantage. CLG, they've won both respawns. If they close out their 3rd, they'll take the series. But again, the bane of the existence kind of for CLG has been closing out series. And
that's really the case with a lot of the teams in the relegation zone.
Yeah, without question. I mean,
they've had a lot of opportunities to close out the majority of their matches. They just haven't been able to do so.
And when they go to those game 5, it's who is going to clutch up, and Complexity has been the scariest team in that capacity. So CLG fans, you're looking good right now, but you're not out of the woods yet by any stretch of the imagination. Looks like everybody loaded up, ready to hop right back into Game 4 here, as we just had a bit of an issue with that one. Now, CTF, obviously you have players on both sides of this that were top players in Black Ops 2. They have a lot of experience in CTF. Who do you give the edge to, though, in this particular game?
I think Complexity. I think they're just a great team for CTF. They like, you know, those slow-paced games, like to slow it down a little bit. And their communication is just great. You know that they're going to be tracking players on the map. They're going to know where they're going to be spawning, when they're going to be spawning up, and, you know, who's alive, who's dead. I think this is a good game mode for some of these Complexity players, and CTF is my favorite game mode, man.
All right, well, here we go. The first kill coming in. Parasite going to be picking up 2 off the rip. I was watching Ricky push through Palace, and he's going to be able to get in for a pull very, very quickly. So he's going to need some cover here from Parasite. They're going to take it top map right now out through Cage. And yeah, I mean, this player mid-map, well, he did kill. That kill on Parasite's big, because now the flag runner is going to be by himself for a moment here. There's one trailing him. Miracle's going to cover him. He might get shot from behind. Somehow has not been tagged up yet. The flag, did it go off the edge?
It fell off the map.
Oh, my God.
That's exactly why I was like, oh, he decided to run it top?
And I also wonder if that player kind of waited to put shots until he got to that position, because you could see on the minimap he was being tracked for quite some time. The kill comes at the perfect moment.
That was the smartest play of 2016 for Methods, just waiting for Ricky to be on that wall run. And I was like, okay, Ricky's just going to ledge boost off it into bottom glass. You got Miracles right next to him to soak up the shots. You got your teammates spawning up. They can help you out bottom broken. And you know, it's as simple as just running in to capture the flag after that. A risky play from Ricky on Complexity, but they're in a good position to get another flag out. As Ricky does fall, he's going to have a teammate to follow this up. It's going to be Nameless. Finds one, takes down Methods, but we see that there's a couple more players to take care of. As he's laying down some fire, he will get cleaned up. So things will stabilize here for CLG, but they're going to be fighting from their base, which is always a scary position to be in.
If Nameless kind of waited another second, I think he would have had Miracles to help him. He was pushing through steps, but doesn't get there in time. And now we've got a little bit of a reset. You can just see, looking at the minimap, it's been basically aggression nonstop. I was watching, I don't even know what just happened to Miracles. He just imploded while sliding off of a ledge.
Yeah, that's always rough. You know, sometimes things just don't go your way.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it's just so tough to be consistent in a game like Call of Duty, because timing is just so important. Especially in a game of like Search and Destroy, you know, you could be making some smart plays, but you just get one bad timing and one bad timing after another, and here come the smoke grenades from CLG, but, you know, sometimes, as I was saying, things just don't go your way. But
well, that smoke was perfect. You see, okay, you see right now this player in the back. You can see him on X-ray. That position's so tough to deal with, unless, of course, your name is Accuracy. Don't do it to him. Almost gets a third, but he should be weak. Ricky goes huge. Those 2 kills prevent a potential cap there. Is they're not even able to get a pull. Great defense there coming in from Ricky.
And that's the exact position I was talking about when we were speaking about Breach, but I do love the decision to use smoke grenades here from CLG. That's something that could close the gap and cut off lines of sights of those defending players from Complexity, just posting up and watching their flag, especially that player near the back AC.
Well, it doesn't help so much with your, I guess, pushes coming from Palace or like Cage side, but it does help a lot from coming from bottom broke. When you're just pushing right through the middle, you get that smoke and you try to get out. They almost were away if it weren't for a couple clutch plays there from Complexity. Now, Ricky's playing slow because how close is he to streaks? Here, I'll check on him real quick. He is
275.
275 to Lightning, so he's still got a ways to go, but he should be playing pretty slow. This is
team kill.
This is a map, remember, where I think Ricky had, like a 16-kill streak or something like that. It was in our top 5 plays, I know, on this map and game mode. But now we're going to have flag out for either side, and they're running at each other right now. Accuracy opts to not take that fight, goes back to the middle, is able to find one. He's got some help there from Felony as well.
Great flag running from Accuracy here.
Now, who's the player across that might get in from behind? That's Felony. So Felony is on the hunt right now behind the flag area.
And he just uses Kinetic.
Oh, look at the 3 players. They're trying to close here. The Predator's on the loose. They're pushing in. Methods, though, and Felony's still up. They can't find this player. He's wrapped all the way around.
He's dead?
They're ultimately going to kill him. Can they get the return? Felony gets 2. To get it, Methods gets it. Methods should have the return.
Woo.
And there is the first cap on the board for CLG. The triple kill coming in for Methods.
That was huge for Methods right there. I definitely thought Perplex was going to get that touch.
Flex ended up dropping. Method stood still, be good. Ricky's trying to get through bottom lab as he cut him off. He couldn't find him. He got a couple shots in, but the slide comes in. It's an awkward gunfight, and Ricky can't clutch up. You see full streaks here from Methods. What a big first half. CLG wants to take all 3 respawns and close this out in 4.
That would be huge. Definitely not how I expected this series to go, but
not at all.
This is looking like a brand new CLG team, and this is exactly how they want to start off Week 9.
Well, you have to think about, if you're talking about top teams that are most susceptible to upset, Complexity is number one for me because of the number of Game 5s, right? They've played so many. And speaking of, they don't have enough time. Let's say, can he somehow get this out?
He just wanted to slay with a flag in his hand and
get some points.
Bonus points.
But they have to be the team, right, that's most susceptible. I mean, I know when you talk about Envy and Optic, teams that are basically locked into the top 8, you're susceptible from the standpoint that you're overconfident, careless, those type of mistakes. But Complexity just has been inconsistent really all year by the fact that they have that many Game 5s. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised.
It's so weird because, you know, we'll see Complexity take out like an Optic Gaming. We'll see them take out, you know, a FaZe. And we're like, finally, you know, they're shown up, and then